everybody. Welcome to the stream. It is 11:52 a.m. in the a.m. Pacific time. December 18th, 2024. I learned not long ago that there is a difference between PST and PDT, and same thing EST and EDT. I kind of had been using them interchangeably, but it turns out one relates to like if daylight savings time is on or off. It's too hard to keep track, so I no longer use PST or PDT. I just say PT or Pacific time. 11:52 Pacific time. And we're going to do some Conquest today. I don't know how much. Probably not a ton. I'm really enjoying playing Marvel Rivals. And I want to get back on that horse a little bit. My friend and streaming hero Binks, he plays Marvel Rivals, and he plays it at the... he plays competitive, which I do not normally do. And it came to my attention yesterday that when you do competitive Rivals, you can only match or queue with or be with, I think, people plus or minus one rank as you. And Binks has been going real hard on the Rivals competitive, and I need to be able to keep up because I want to be able to play some competitive, get a little carried. So I'll be doing that later. Maybe not on stream, but I'll be doing that later. But now we're going to be doing some Conquest, and I will be doing... as I have been doing, some Arishem. Today's list is Arishem and Thanos. Yeah, Double Neg, it is. It is the orthodoxy of PT. You know, I never played. I know that it was like available on the store, and then it wasn't. Those games are not my thing, but I think that it's so funny like that exists. While I am talking here, I once again, I don't know, it's not even a forget, I just kind of like doing this now. On my stream setup here, I do not have multiple screens on my desktop here. I have one very large screen. And I have software that splits that screen up as if it were multiple smaller screens, which is very convenient for many things. And one of the things that is not convenient for is having a nice little Twitch chat window front and center where I can see and engage with it. And so that requires, whenever I fire up Twitch and get all this going, that I need to change a bunch of settings, which I normally do before I launch because it's not very good content. But while I'm just talking, hanging out, kind of getting into the groove, we're going to do that now. You're not going to see much, but I'm turning off my fancy zones. Fun bit of Windows stuff that you might not know. If you want a particular window to always be on top, you can do Control Windows key T. It'll pop it up and always on top. That's what I do for my chat window. I'm sure professional streamers have a much more elegant solution, you know, the Stream Deck and all that, but I don't do any of that. So as I said, we're going to get into this Conquest, and the thing of note is I got this list from a Snap Judgments video a couple days ago. Somebody had taken it to the top of the ladder in the pre-Doom 2099 meta. And I copied that list in its entirety because I don't trust myself to make a ton of modifications right out the gate. But I am really savvy with Arishem. And there's a couple cards in this list that I don't think is necessarily correct. And one of those, the most prominent that jumps out to me is that list has Mobius and Mobius, which is a card I love. And I think belongs in a lot of decks and a lot of metas, but not here, not now. 3-drops are awkward with the new Arishem. I don't think that there is a ton of cost reduction floating around the meta right now. And I think a stronger 3-drop to have in your pocket to play as soon as you want is Copycat. And I think that there's even a stronger argument to maybe include Red Guardian in that spot. And then the last thing that I'm going to do before we queue up, it occurred to me, and I was going to do this earlier, but why not do it on stream? I am pretty stingy with consumable video game items. Things like your potions and your elixirs and your mega elixirs that you collect in RPGs. I am one of those people that collects all of them and then never uses them. You save them, you know, you want them for the final boss or whatever, and then even you get to the final boss, and somehow I just don't even use them. End the game, tons of stuff unused, and I have that same defect in my brain when it comes to Marvel Snap card borders. So I have collected, just by playing, so many borders here that I've never applied, and because for fear of using it on a card that you stop liking, stop using, they nerf it. And today, here and now, I am prepared to use one of these things. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for the inevitable nerf to Shadow King, and it has not come. Shadow King is the platonic ideal of a card that I will use a consumable border on. And what I mean by that is it is extraordinarily versatile. You can slot, and in fact need to slot, Shadow King in tons and tons of decks. And Second Dinner has nerfed its power a little bit, but has done seemingly nothing to change its core functionality. And it's a tremendously important card to have in so many decks. And when I play Conquest, I fill my list with tech cards, and Shadow King's always going to be there. Oh, how can we? I have so many banger splits. You know, just because you said something, I'm going to spend another second after we're here going through some of my banger splits, because I don't get to share them, and I appreciate you saying something. But here we have the Shadow King with a banger split. I spent a lot of time and resources accumulating some of these things during that patch window. And here's the thing. I'm going to keep using this card. I have this banger split. We're putting the red matte border on Shadow King here today. And after much soul searching, I've decided that this is the one. It fits the border. That's fine. Here's where I'm at. You can see how do I turn on the name, the border of the Shadow King name is this color, and it's fixed at this color. And the red matte makes the crackle pop and matches perfectly the border of the Shadow King thing. Shadow King drop shadow, I believe, is what we'll call the text around that word. And so we're slapping this on there, and we'll be running this in the yeah. Hold to confirm it's happening. So it feels so good. Art is subjective. I'm also colorblind, so we have that kind of in the mix as well. Save. Now, for those who know me, I am a Aurisham enjoyer. I play a lot of Aurisham, and I play a lot of Conquest. And recent nerfs notwithstanding, there's some real, what is the word? Familiar faces that we see in your average Aurisham list, plus or minus a couple of cards. And so it's not, tragically, because of my layout, it's not super, these things are not visible. So we're going through card by card. My picture and the text is kind of blocking this thing. I have applied a lot of resources into getting good splits on the common cards that I include in Aurisham lists. So we've got things like Quinjet, which actually I think is funnily the same permutation as Shadow King. I've got the purple crackle in the ink. And I just slapped the silver metallic border on it, which I think works okay. I'll pause with the splits and talk about your question. So is Aurisham still good? I don't necessarily think so. That nerf to Aurisham, I think, was a little or a lot overdone. And it hurts. It feels very bad. And I think that when the dust settles, we're not going to see Aurisham super competitive in whatever landscape lands. Now, that said, I am almost exclusively a Conquest player. And the strength of Aurisham in Conquest cannot be overstated. When you're playing ranked and you're against Aurisham and you have just no idea what's happening, you can often get out for one cube, or the the cube equity doesn't matter as much. But when you are locked into a battle in Conquest against Arishem, and you just don't know what's happening next, you have such an information advantage playing Arishem over your opponent that I don't know, to your question, like, is Arishem still good in Conquest? I'm not sure, but I feel so comfortable. I love putting my opponents in these awkward positions, but it just feels horrible. Which part was worse, the energy of the no-do cards? The energy for sure. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. The no-do cards, that doesn't bother me at all. Maybe it does statistically, maybe it should bother me, but it doesn't feel horrible. I saw a super fun list that had Arishem with Wiccan. And that kind of makes sense, because on turn 3 with the new Arishem, you will have 4 mana. So all you quote-unquote need to do with Arishem to keep Wiccan active is spend 1 mana on 1, 2 mana on 2. You get your Wiccan on 3, and you're off to the races with 3 extra mana per turn. How cool. And so I put together this list and copied what I saw online and what I think was probably the strongest form of what this looked like. And because of Arishem, you have to run Quicksilver, and you have to run Domino. And I was playing game after game after game after game. Quicksilver on 1, Domino on 2. Rarely would I have Wiccan on 4, because you're already denying yourself 2 draws, and you have all these extra cards. I didn't do the math, but it's very, very low reliability to have Wiccan on 3, excuse me. And then even when you do, starting on turn 4, Vash is exactly right. That's what I'm talking about. This happened every time. I'm like, yes, I get Wiccan on 3. This is so strong. I'm going to be crushing my opponent. You had nothing. On turn 4, you wake up with 7 mana. And you've played 3 cards, and you better hope that you have drawn your Coulson or your Nick Fury to generate more stuff, or randomly Arishem gave you expensive things. And even if you have Coulson and Nick Fury, you're playing them weirdly off curve, and then you've only got that extra mana on 2 turns. It felt horrible. Even when it worked, it felt horrible. There's the very rare case where in my starting hand I had Wiccan and Nick Fury, or Wiccan and card generation, or Wiccan and a bunch of 6s that I could play. So the new Arishem feels horrible, but I can't say with authority that it is horrible, and look no further than the fact that I'm actually playing it right now. And apologies for all of this teasing. Halkin mentioned my splits, and I just wanted to go through some of the Arishem cards that I have gotten, putting some resources in to make really nice. I really like gold background with the blue cosmic border. I think it looks gorgeous in most cases. And one of my most proud splits here is the gold Mockingbird with the rainbow crackle in the blue cosmic border. It is visually a lot, but I appreciate a lot of stuff. I appreciate a lot of a lot. Anyway, let's get into the Conquest. Yes, that is exactly how I feel about gold in this game. Inked is fine. I've never been an inked guy. I think some cards, for example, Shadow King in inked is sick as hell. But I'm a gold man. All right, let's get after some gold Conquest. And now, notably, and I want to manage expectations here. As I've covered, I don't think that Arishem is in a particularly good place, and I fully expect to just get crushed in more often than not. And what I'm doing right now is just trying to get my legs underneath me, see how it works with the Doom meta. And for lack of a better term, this is what I'm comfortable with. And what really, really matters, success in Conquest it was success in Snap, but I think particularly in Conquest really comes down to your comfort level with your deck. And you will do better playing a deck that is worse, or quote-unquote worse, or off-meta, if you're super comfortable with it, than the latest killer deck that you're not really comfortable with. Well, right away, my opponent has a super sick avatar. Much respect. I'm moving my mic closer. Much respect to Reganassi for that awesome Wolverine thing. And I should have mentioned that this is This is a list that is not just Arishem, but is a Thanos Arishem list, which plays super weird and different every time. And normally, a lot of times in... oh, is my opponent? My opponent is also Thanos Arishem, possibly? Is that what this number means? That's awesome. So, do you think Thanos with Arishem Wiccan could work? That would be so... Hang on one second. One of the kind of problems here is you don't want to overdraw. And most of my cards in my hand draw. So we'll do power here. This is actually an argument to not... I might very well lose Hala here. And if I am intending to lose Hala and have this many stones in my hand, maybe I don't want to lose Power Stone. But, okay, I'm not gonna lose Hala now. I'm actually gonna snap here. That actually maybe changes the math. I was gonna snap here because I was so far ahead. This maybe changes the calculus here because my opponent could have the extra bit. And how can I want to get to your question, but I want to focus on this turn first. So I don't think I want to snap anymore. What I will do is play Thanos in Hala and get a space Soul Stone down, so I can comfortably have Thanos survive no matter what. Question is, do I want to get over to Vibranium Mines? I think I kind of have to. And I will Mirage. So I'm starting to fill up my my deck with more Vibranium, which you don't love to do, especially with as crowded as my board already is, but it is what it is. Oh, I'll tell you what, Hellcat and Vash. You heard it here first. This is some... Okay, so they have Strong Guy in their hand. I'm almost certainly never gonna make that active. The sick tech. Oh, Gwenpool's pretty cool. That, I almost want to lose Hala. I am completely out of board space on turn 4. I really wasn't thinking about this too much. Alright, so we're just going to naked Gwenpool. Call it good. The sickest tech in Thanos Arishem. In fact, there's an argument. I forgot that I had been doing this. That I has saw so much success with. Is Uatu the Watcher. And that sentence has never been said. No one in the history... Oh, you're going to draw cards, you son of a bitch? They lose one draw, so that's not actually a big deal. Oh yeah, Uatu. You have it there. Yeah, when you include Uatu in your deck that has 25 cards in it, you never draw it. The drawback of having that shit card doesn't exist. And the strength of knowing the other two locations right off the bat is very, very, very powerful. This is an awkward position, man. I hate to fill up here. Like, there's a real argument to just Mockingbirding middle and keeping my options open for Pegasus and Asgard. But I think I just have to do this. What got the Gwenpool buffs? They got spread to... Did Strong Guy get one? No, Strong Guy's the Mirage buff. Where did the buffs go? 1 on Valentina. Oh, a 2 on Jean Grey. Jean got 2. That's an 8. I couldn't see behind her finger. I thought that was a smaller number. So what I think I want to do is Jean Grey here, naked Jean Grey here. That maybe screws him up more than it screws me up, and then I have a free Mockingbird and can do whatever I want next turn. I kind of want to snap, but he's got a full hand, and I'm really full on space. I should have snapped earlier in this game. All right, I'm very happy that hit Time Stone and not... I could Boomer Snap here, but I don't feel overly great about that. Let's see. We do Mockingbird. Then the next most power is 5 and 5. The thing I'm most scared of from him is a card larger than... He has to play on Asgard. Card larger than 9 from him, and then on the left, and then larger than 2 on the right. And I don't know if that's possible. I guess the argument here, I could do this. I think I like this more. Feels bad to not maximize the couple of buffs here. But I think getting him... He's very unlikely to beat Asgard and get over the top of just 7 here, Hala, so I think I want to maximize my strength here, and I'm not going to snap, and we'll just call it good here. Alright, I don't think that's good. It's gonna... Oh! Oh my god, Titania. Now, would I have won with 5 and 5? I guess I probably would have. We would have tied Project Pegasus. That's a very unlucky Titania. We would have tied Project Pegasus. And I would have won Hala. Yeah, I would have won with the 5 and 5. It was an impossible thing to predict. How deeply unfair. My opponent played to his outs, that's fine. But bullshit luck. Opponent added 11 with the... Whew. Anyway, so to go back half a step, with the Uatu tech that I was just describing that was so good, that really only applied to the pre-nerf Aurishim. That mattered a whole lot when you had 2 mana on 1 and 3 mana on 2, and you had outsized power, not power, outsized ability to utilize your extra information on locations 2 and 3. So you could dump a bunch of things in locations that you needed to. In a way that no longer really applies, so maybe I think I'm probably going to run here. Like, this is an okay hand, but I'm going to run here. So Uatu is no longer something that I will trumpet, but it was very briefly Nate's secret tech that no one else was doing.
Destiny will arrive.
Yeah, and that RNG felt bad, but my opponent played to his outs. What I failed at was not snapping earlier. You guys are having good conversation, continue to have good conversation, but it is hard for me to both focus as I need to do and play perfectly here and also engage with the very good conversation. So don't not engage, but that's my excuse. All right, Copycat got Space Stone. That's not on terrible. All right, cable upon cable upon cable. All right, I like a little of this. Do I snap? My hand is not amazing, but I'm going to keep drawing and drawing and drawing. I like snapping here. My margin is small, but my opponent has demonstrated willingness to own. Like he did not snap when he had a pretty okay position. He did snap when I imagine he was very strong. I think there's a real likelihood that my opponent would either run here. Oh, Galacta on curve doesn't feel good, but board space with this is really, really challenging, and he's going to encounter this. Now, notably, Shang-Chi Null is a neat combo that I expect to be able to weaponize a little bit here. I'm also running into board space issues, but we only have 2 turns after this. I think that this is how I want to play it. We'd love to see a Shangable card here. Oh, they get rid of their own Shang. That's kind of cool. I have their Alioth, their main deck Alioth. That's good information. I have Soulstone down, which protects my Thanos, but they've already thrown away their Shang-Chi. So I hate to fill it up here, but I do love maximizing my... Oh, and actually, I'm going to activate Thanos. This Mind Stone guarantees... Actually, now that I... The lane that I play Thanos in right now is a guaranteed win, basically. Because he's going to become 20 power, probably. And so I think probably what I want to do is this. He's most strongest in his non-Galacta lanes. And maybe I can snipe a cool Alioth thing here. And I don't want to fill up either lane. I'm really weak in the left, but I think that this is the most correct play.
Doom rules all.
All systems go.
So, critically, I don't have priority for fun Alioth business. And I'm not winning left. So I think we have to Space Stone here, and the question is, what do I do with the rest of my cards? I think it just has to be Alioth for max power right, which doesn't feel amazing. But I don't know if there's another alternative. I could do, something like this, or not. I'm trying to think, is not in this order, but would activating a Galacta-on, that's 8 power, gets me a little bit more. Maybe that's the... No, well, because then if he just plays a large card... what I'm doing now is I don't actually know if 10 power mid is going to be enough power mid. But that said, if he's a good player, and he's a good player, he knows I'm going to add 10 here. So I think I just do this. No, shit. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm not playing for left, so perfect. So what I was doing there, and I was thinking and talking at the same time, and I couldn't articulate my words. My opponent knows that I had the ability to grow Thanos 10 power, and we were tied middle. So all he had to do, I was so far behind left, and if he's thinking in like really next level, is all he has to do is play a single card mid that gets more than 10, and he wins. So what I wanted to do, as much as I wanted to do it, was maximize my power right, and I would have had 1 extra power by playing Alioth here. But I sacrificed 1 power in the right lane to get an extra 6 power in the middle lane because I knew that he knew that I'd be able to grow the Thanos. Now, it all worked out because I don't think he had the cards in his hand to grow strength, but that's kind of the arsenal. Grip Smoke, how you doing? And yes, typical victory. That said, my opponent is playing a deck that requires a lot of skill and has demonstrated that he himself has some chops here. So this is actually a little bit weird. Now, obviously, you normally want to play Mind Stone on turn 1, but if my opponent, who's also running Aurishim Thanos, has a stone that is more than 1 power that puts it awkward, I'm going to do Mind Stone on 1. The extra mana doesn't matter that much, because I'm just going to be cranking out stones, and then you can do other things with it. Now, this is a pretty strong position. And I have Soul Stone into Thanos for Rickety Bridge, so I'm going to snap here. I don't exactly know how I want to play this. I'm not going to turn off Rickety Bridge. Okay. Just thoughts upon thoughts. Even though I have Reality Stone here, and a surprise turn off Rickety Bridge would be a strong play. Knowing that I have Soul Stone, I could put Thanos there and win Rickety Bridge outright. So do I want to turn off Blackstone? Because I'm probably not going to be able to keep winning that because of the board space issues. Did not matter because my opponent's hand was probably trash. That, as an aside, here, educational, teachable moment. When you're playing against an Aurishim player, and you have a reasonably strong opening hand, there's a real strong argument to snapping your opponent, because their hand frequently is trash. Now, my hand here is good. This is a bad example, but oftentimes you're playing Aurishim in extra Aurishim Thanos, and your hand is just doo-doo, and you can't do anything. And if your opponent snaps, you really have no choice to retreat. No choice but to retreat. Yeah, Vash is... it's not even no stones. Don't go left. Thank you for going left. It's just no playable cards and no stones. It's just an infuriatingly frequent occurrence. Alright, so board space and hand space starting to get a little crap, but, you know, it is what it is. She-Hulk's a good card. Notably, just a mental note here, my opponent has themselves a Soul Stone, so that makes Shang unkillable. Sorry, Thanos unshankable. Alright, so we got some decisions here. Malekith and Beta Ray Bill. There's an argument to playing them both in Nowhere, because the board space of the Malekith of it all. I think I like this the most. There's even an argument to putting Stegron like one of these, but I can always do that later. Now Stegrun's becoming pretty attractive. I don't know what that card is that they just played there. Galacta. Yeah, Alright, given the Stegron and the Cannonball of it all, there's a... I mean, Galacta's scary. But, I think I'm in a real good position with this. Now, do I even want to play the Space Stone? It's net negative power if I play it left, that it just fills up a space right that I might want for other things. But I don't know if I'm actually going to need both of those spaces. And the one power might be relevant. So I am going to play it, and I'm going to play it mid. Play it right. I hope they activated their Arana on one of those cards. They didn't? It's weird. The Arana, like... Oh! Yay. We like to see that. Now, do I want a full float for She-Hulk business? I think I kind of do. I think... next turn, a She-Hulk right, Maximus right, Cannonball mid, or Shang-Chi mid, just wins the game. So I am going to full float. Or, actually, do I want to prevent Alioth business? Because he definitely runs Alioth. I've changed my mind. I want to Shang-Chi mid right now, because my opponent has Alioth. I know they have Alioth. And I'm not worried so much. I mean, he only has 5 cubes left, so I don't need to be too cute with it.
Power must be controlled.
Now the hope, my Cannonball is no longer good. I'm in a little bit of an awkward spot, because Galacta is strong here. He needs to get at least 7 power mid, and however much left. And I still need to get over the top and nowhere. And my Cannonball is quote-unquote useless. So the most kind of power that I can do to win both of these lanes, hypothetically, is... And Malik is really just going to pull a 1 or 2 power card. So I think I'm in an okay spot here. Or I guess you could pull... Oh, no, it can't pull... Oh, no, it's a 1, 2, or 3 cost, because it's not lowest cost card. So it could be a lot of stuff. It actually can't pull the hammer. But I like this. I think that this is the winningest play, but there are many permutations of cards in my opponent's 7-card hand that beats me here. And in all likelihood, my single... Oh, is that... Yeah, my single card wins there. Woo!
Victory.
That feels good. I play that super correct. My opponent also probably played that super correct. I didn't obviously see his hand. But that feels like a well-earned victory. My opponent was no fool. I don't know how much I agree with Arana-ing the Space Stone. If my opponent had Arana that Cull Obsidian that I was able to kill, that might have put me in an awkward spot, but it all worked out okay. It all worked out okay. Thanks to the power of friendship. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Yeah, in many ways, Grip Smoke Tecmo. It's more your victory than mine. But yes, we did it. Terrible missions. Ah, yes, the classic Green Goblin Carnage combo. I do not have a big enough following to have my own alliance. I'm in Biggs' alliance because Biggs is my hero. But if I did have an alliance, it would be called The Great Ones, and it's so beautiful. I would love to do it, but I can't even. I would not be able to figure it out. Yeah, no, you're not right. You're not wrong. And in fact, my big complaint here, which I can't even really have a complaint because I'm lucky to be in this alliance, is there's some people, I won't name names, but they're in this group of 5. Like, they don't play the game. they gather no points. They just 0 points. And so we actually rarely get the maximum alliance reward. It's only happened like twice. And so it's very infuriating. Binks has a huge following, a lot of fans, and I imagine he could easily kick some of these people and get absolute killers in here. And I would be able to get the sweet reward every week. But it's his alliance and his rules, and I have to just live in that world. But it would be nice if we got more people in there. Now, you're in the Nico Minoru. Oh, yeah, of course, Vash. I did not clock that you, Vash, or this Vash. Yeah, you fucking brought it. I guess you obviously brought it last month, but 2 months ago, was it? Just absolute champion. Yeah, we need to gently get on Binks to get rid of some dead weight here, because we need more people like you and me. Now, Gripsmoke Tekbo, did you start the Nico Minaro Alliance, or did you just find that there were other Nico Minaro enjoyers out there with your sensibilities? Hell yeah. I love that there's other people like you out there. And it's so funny, because like Nico's obviously a very strong, powerful, will be powerful, very interesting card. No argument for me on Nico. I have gotten Nico split enough times to be gold. But I find your uniquely strong passion for Nico, and as well as, I guess, the other people in your alliance, to be amusing. It's crazy that exists at that level. Good for you guys. For me, I guess it's Arisham. I suppose and then before Arisham it was Loki, but those are, to my mind, and maybe that's just my own bias, just a little bit more distinctive than Nico. But maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, if there was Arisham enjoyers out there or Loki enjoyers, I would be maybe just as inclined to join that alliance. Yeah, you have been credit where credit is due. Vash absolutely killing it on the alliance points, and you absolutely being a day 0 Nico Minaro enjoyer. There's no... I mean, whenever the card was coming out, I believe the general consensus was it's crazy complicated, but will probably be good. If I were to summarize the sentiment, that's what we were looking at. But I don't think a ton of people really clocked exactly how universally strong the card would be. But you were on that train from the beginning. Much respect. +1 energy. Great. Can't use it for anything. Let's see. My opponent. High-ish collection level. Infinite. Not a ton of ways I can take advantage of that. My hand pretty doo-doo, but their hand pretty doo-doo. And they're running a quote-unquote normal deck. Alright, great. Love turn 1 pass, turn 2 pass. Next turn is probably Drax. I'll play Drax middle if they don't pop Aunt May. If they don't snap and we get to stay in. If they snap, I might leave. But this is a Drax middle turn because they are probably going to play middle. Okay, but goodbye Magneto. And they lose Super Scroll. So that Super Scroll is for Doom decks. I'm guessing that this is a Doom 2099 deck that has that for the mirror. Good to know. Oh, sick. Don't know if I know this variant. Magic has so many good variants. I'm in a strong position, but not the strongest position. My opponent snaps on... I don't know enough about what deck runs Super Scroll and Magic. It could be just a regular negative situation. And I have no way to turn off a location. I would love to stay, but this is a too common scenario where like, oh, I'll just stay for 1 extra, and then I get neck and neck in the last turn, and suddenly 1 cube becomes 4 cubes. If my hand had a little bit more card generation... I mean, I do have Cable. This is tempting. This is an edge case. I'm going to leave because I think I can win in the long run. And certainly I have Legion in the deck, and I can do Magic Shenanigans with Limbo. Or, sorry, turn off Magic Shenanigans. There was a real argument to staying there. That was maybe a cowardly retreat, but we'll play it safe. separately. That's more information. So Zabu. So this, well, Zabu also is present for Doom 2099. So we don't. It's funny how Doom 2099 decks and negative decks probably share a lot of similarities. As I was saying, I really like Valentina in Arishem. It really lends itself now to the curve of it all. That's a sweet 6-drop to get. I really don't know where I'm at here. That's Zabu. Wonder if this is magic again. Yep. This is also kind of awkward, where I have a strong but not crazy strong hand. There's a real argument to swap to not. There's argument to doing a lot of different plays there, including swapping the Mockingbird and the Power Stone location. Blue Marvel. So this, again, it could be a negative situation, but this really feels like Doom 2099. Like that's these Jubilee and Blue Marvel are cards consistent with that list. I think probably Thanos here. I mean, do I snap? I really am in uncomfortable do I snap or not snap territory with this deck. I mean, it's turn. They did not do anything on. Like if they play Doom now, is that a lot? I don't know. There's a real argument to snapping here, but I'm not going to do it. Hey, Alloy 2202 or Aloy, because it's normally nominally Alloy, but Aloy is the Horizon character. Could be both. Great to see you. Thanks for hanging out. I'm currently not snapping correctly in Gold Conquest. My opponent does nothing. Alright, now you get yourself a snap. I can't imagine Alright, great. I gave them a free draw that I shouldn't have given them, but that is a pretty objectively correct snap in that situation. And I'm feeling like my opponent is running Doom 2099. But there is absolutely a negative and or negative tribunal landscape that is consistent with what they've got there. I am not playing Reality Stone as a wonderful thing to hang on to for the magic of it all. Well, thank you for hanging out. Multiple people have. I hope that you had a lovely time watching the... that benefits them more than me, I think. Watching the... Rogue is good. Sorry. Talking. Playing. With the content that I was able to provide on Binks' stream, enough to join me over here. Really appreciate it. There's an argument to Silver Sabling left, because I imagine they're going to want to turn off Shuri's Lab, but maybe they want to turn off Quantum Tunnel. I'm just going to do this because nominally Silver Sable is a good card to throw away. And hopefully get lucky out of the Quantum Tunnel. Okay, that feels bad. That feels bad. Now I'm in a pretty awkward position with regards to pulling things out of the Quantum Tunnel. But my hand otherwise is okay. Oh, hey, Angel, welcome to the party. You're soon to be gone. I can't think of a ton of misery things that I want to do. And I'm expecting my opponent to play Doom 2099 here. I really don't know what the hell's going on with my opponent's other cards in their list. So this, to me, reads like they're going to play Doom 2099. But I have Reality Stone, and Shuri's Lab broadly favors me. I'm going to stay... If this was more cubes, I would maybe get out. But I have tools that I am going to be comfortable either winning or getting out of town, as it were. Yeah, Shuri's Lab... is not something that they can take a great deal of advantage of. Let's do a little something like this. Yeah, Angel, not having a great day. I'm in a real awkward spot with Quantum Tunnel. I don't like where I'm at with Quantum Tunnel. And I don't know what I want to do with Quantum Tunnel, but right now I think that this is the right play with the cards that I currently have available to me. Well, if the Doom 2099 wasn't enough of an indication that they're playing Doom 2099, Iron Lad is. Oh! Yeah! Fuck yeah! Take off my Atuma. That's a terrible play. That's a dummy play. They might win this, but it's not because of that play. So I am in a pretty good position to win Shuri's Lab. I don't think that there's cards in their deck that allows them to kind of take that over. So the question is, how do I win the other location or locations? Iron Lad. I think that this is the play. I also don't think that they've popped Vormir now that I think about it. A likely thing I would imagine them to do this turn is to play Magic on Vormir. We'll see. I really have no sense underneath me of how good or bad Doom 2099 is. Now, notably here, I can't... that's an interesting play. I cannot rogue... normally I could rogue one of their Doombots and kind of take away some of the power they think that they have, but because they have Super Scroll, they just get it right back. So this is the final turn. And I can do some shenanigans with Reality Stone. But I really think that I'm just taller than them in a lot of these locations. I'm not going to snap back. But, what, they've got Doctor Doom. I think the most likely play that they will do is Doctor Doom. And if they do Doctor Doom, that's going to add 5 power here, so they're going to go to 20. And then they're going to have 3 more. So go up to 23? With just a naked Doctor Doom, plus whatever, I guess, comes out of that. So I think I really want to focus on getting bigger Quantum Tunnel, maybe playing 1 card there. So I can do something like this. I think that this wins. But I don't know if they're running some sort of giant thing that lets them get that much taller in the left. Maybe it's actually this. I like this maybe a little bit more. And then we hope for a good outcome with Martyr. That's a pretty good outcome. And then they have to get lucky with what Doom recycles. Like Blue Marvel, does that do it? Oh. I wasn't calculating... Oh, God, that was bad on my part. I wasn't calculating the extra... Doom. I was only getting the 1 Doom. Of course, there would be 2 Dooms. Now, would that have changed? I mean, obviously, results-oriented thinking. Like, I would have pulled Mockingbird. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about exactly how tall they would get right. So I was most of the way there. That was definitely a mistake on my part. But definitely winnable. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Doom 2090 decks. They seem very fun, but they also seem very thin. Alright, so they don't have a Doctor Doom, and I have a 3-cost Doctor Doom. But the rest of my hand is kind of doo-doo. I'm not going to snap yet. But there's a real argument to me snapping depending on how the game plays out. Scorn, kind of a nothing burger, as they say. Hey, Domino, good to see you. We'll do Forge. I want to see what the third location is. There's a real argument to me snapping here, particularly given that they haven't done anything here. But I don't want the next location to be a game-losing thing, and I snap and they stay. Okay, we're going to snap here. We're going to do a little of this. Okay. My opponent, I don't know their snap strategy with regards to Doom 2099. It seems like they snap and stay if they have it, and then they leave if they don't. But it's a little thin for me to make that assumption 100%. My hand okay here. Rogue is pretty good. But again, the value of Rogue goes way down when they have Super Scroll in their hand. So my starting hand... Did that contain She-Hulk? Does that count as She-Hulk? I don't remember. I don't know how that interaction works. We'll put Cable there. Well, they don't have Doom 2099, and I do have Doom 2099. So we'll just go ahead and... I'm going to give it a second. I got to think about it. What am I going to do? Now I'm going to snap. Now, I know that there's a... It's funny that I got their Doom and then the Doom 20... Boy, this is sick. It's just a sick-looking card. I really like the character of Victor Von Doom. Alrighty. I think hand size and board size is going to be a little bit... Board space, excuse me. It's going to be a little bit at a premium here. Spectrum can be very good on Sinister London. What kind of ongoing things am I looking at here? Well, this is tough. I really... Yeah, I gather that board space is maybe the chiefest, the biggest. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to White Queen here because I think that they're likely going to want to turn off Sinister London. Yeah, your point is very well taken, because if I'm him... Well, although he's probably going to want to play Doom now. I don't know. We'll see. He played Magic, or played Psylocke on... so Onslaught in hand. That's good to know. Ah, I was correct. I feel like I'm in an okay position. I guess it really comes down to whether he's playing Doom this turn or not. I would have liked to have... Maybe playing Yellow Jacket there was correct. I don't know. I guess I didn't know that he was going to turn that off. Maybe this. So my opponent, that means that my opponent has Doom. Let's undo and turn. My opponent is going to play Doom 2099 here, and can I get over the top of that? Maybe I don't. After this 5... You know, I'm not going to play the Spectrum. I'm going to just play Power Stone to guarantee myself a draw, and I'm going to stay in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if I can get a little creative with board space here and beat him. Oh, but I might lose, but I don't think leaving there was correct. And I can't imagine that he runs Shang-Chi, maybe. I guess that is a kind of a one... a card that... you would have one copy of. Like, you would want to play just one card that turn. But we'll do this. We'll do this and show. Ah, so they are legioning to prevent me from legioning. I didn't have legion, so that wasn't a risk. But that is one fewer thing that I can do. If I draw both legion and reality stone, that would be one thing. But I also would only get that over 2 draws and don't have the ability to turn it off anyway. So... I really think that I can just get bigger than him. Or, I guess, sorry, I shouldn't say I guess I can. I say the path to victory is to get bigger than him in these right 2 lanes. So I think that Thanos right is the most correct play. I could do something like Goliath right, but I don't think that that is a likely thing for him to do. I think if he's going to play a single card, it's going to be in the left lane, and I don't want to play anything there. So I'm going to do... I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to snap back. Because this is for all the marbles. If I lose this, I'm down to 1 cube, so let's just play for 5. That's not really a psyop. That's just... I want, 4 is 5, so let's not mess around. And I was right there playing that 1 card left. There's the blue marvel. Now, question is this enough power? This is Psylocke? Oh, no, it's, I think I just have to do this and hope that it's enough. And the yellow check, why not? I don't think that there's a way for me to add more power. My ongoings, I don't have... The only ongoing I have is the Power Stone, I guess, at this point. And, there's certain cards that they could have that they just win outright. So we're just letting it ride, and if he wins, and if I win, I win. It was really ultimately going to come down to the draws this way. You think they win right this way with Doom? I'm only adding 3. I don't know. So if a naked 5 gets there, it's gonna add 6 plus 1. It's gonna add 7. I don't think that's enough. Well, oh no, plus 1. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, that might do it. Oh, particularly with that Doombot going left, that might cook us. Yes. Yes. This is what I'm saying is the weakness of that deck. It can't get that tall. Like, obviously that's tall. 28, 28, 17 is pretty tall. But knowing that it's going to be fairly spread out, I can just focus on the 2 lanes, and he couldn't... I mean, it's hard to get more optimal than this. Look at this. He's got Onslaught in the same lane as Doombot, Blue Marvel. Maximum adding, and I was able to reasonably comfortably get above with Hodgepodge. Now, notably, I think I won that because I played White Queen on Sinister London that first game. First turn, when it was on the margins. I feel very, very good about how I won that, even if I didn't know math to guarantee the win at the end. So that's good. Now we're in a real strong position. My opponent's to beat me 3 times. And I got a Reality Stone in hand, so that's cool. And I have on their deck tracker, or my deck tracker, their whole list. Notably Shang-Chi, not very good. Mind Stone, pretty good card. I'm not going to throw down Reality, although I am going to lose a draw here. Fuck, I would really like to hold on to Reality for Magic purposes. Shit, this is that's awkward. Yeah, I'll lose a draw. It's fine. And he's not really going to contest the raft. So I'm not aggressively going to fill it up. I think I can do Thanos there the following turn. Or wait, I could just play it this turn. We'll see. All right. X-Mansion here. Don't fail me now. That's terrible. That's better for him. He's going to be able to take advantage of that. All right, that feels bad. All right, we'll do this. And activate Black Widow. I might be cooked here. That X-Mansion plus Doom on 4. Sorry, Doom on 3. Might be more than I can deal with. Heimdall's a fun card. Oh! Rafts all day long. That's an amusing, turn of events. I wonder, can speed get big enough that... No, so can I, snipe that with my, So this is not looking good for us. What I can do is something like I can actually fill up. The question is, like, do I want to fill up the right or fill up the left? This is really, really, well, you know, they have priority, so I think actually this might be quote-unquote the most power. I'm just in a very bad spot here. We'll see. Ah, another Heimdall. It was as foretold in the prophecies. Now, I think I just lose mid no matter what. And it feels pretty easy to lose left no matter what. I think we're just cooked here. Heimdall for sure. Could try some kind of Hail Mary, a Reality Stone, make a world ship situation. I think it's kind of just what I have to do. And pray for a world ship situation. It is fun with Super Scroll to notably, if I got Typhoid Mary.
I see.
World ship? One time? Oh, well, I win that lane, but I was going to win that lane anyway.
Doom rules all.
Played to my outs. Yeah, again, I mean, I was going to lose this anyway because of how the board worked out. But it's easy to forget how much power Doctor Doom on 6 with Doom 2099 is on the board. I, like, forget. Like, I wasn't going to win that game otherwise. But it's a spike in a way that isn't immediately obvious. Yeah, that was just a bunch of unluckiness in that game. It is what it is. That's starting hand decent, but not amazing. Icemen can mess him up pretty good. Hopefully that is what happens here. Super Scroll's a funny card. I think I'll take their... There's an argument to putting Cable in the Iceman lane. If they turn off Atalan, then I could Toxin that, but I'm just going to play it fairly straightforward. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Magic on Atalan this turn. Oh, that's good. That's really, really strong. My opponent is not in a good spot. I think Galacta... Oh, no, we're going to recycle back in. So, I think I want Doom 2099, and then I'll just win with his shit. I don't know if he could win. Like, Doom 29 is a pretty integral part of that deck, and the fact that I just stole it, I don't know if he can come back from this. Oh, that's good. That said, Galacta's pretty strong here. Well, now I'm no longer limited to the one card a turn thing, so that's cool. Let's do a little of that. maybe? Be careful not to... I might want to end up Shadow Kinging in one of these lanes, and so... I don't want to stack the growing card. Or, I guess that's not a risk with Galacto, just something I'm keeping on top of my head. Magneto's pretty strong. Alright, what do we got? I mean, I'm in a really strong position, but I can lose this for sure. Now what... I forget that I'm getting bigger here. I have to be... I was like, oh, I have Gore. That's so good. But he has Super Scroll, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's do this. And then do I want to play the Scorn? I think I can probably afford it next turn no matter what.
We are the future.
I considered playing Magneto left. Perhaps that was the most correct thing to do.
Rules all.
So the most likely thing I expect from him here, he would not play Super Scroll, he would play Blue Marvel. And maybe he plays Super Scroll, but I would be ahead no matter what. So I think that the correctest play is... So, hang on, Galacta's there. Is how I'm thinking about how I lose this. I can't see him getting more than 8 power mid, and if he does Super Scroll, where would he play Super Scroll that beats me? Because I'm playing Gore, but I'm playing it on a lane that I'm already ahead in. And I'm adding a couple power to the right. I think that this is the most correct play. And I'm expecting a Blue Marvel or a Retreat. Maybe a Hail Mary Iron Lad kind of thing. I don't know. This is a weird spot. It would not be weird if he didn't have Super Scroll in his deck. It'd be very straightforward. But the fact that he has Super Scroll makes this a weird... Yes! Yes! Woo! That feels good, particularly after that blunder in that first or second game. I think my opponent played that well enough, but whenever I take your Doom 2099, there's not much you can do. I don't know how I feel about Doom 2099 decks. They are, they seem very fun, but they seem very beatable in a way that doesn't seem very good. And that's my first Infinity ticket of the season. I've not been doing a ton of Gold Conquest. So that's nice. Always like that. Got a casual 21 gold tickets. How I like to play this is I do a ton of Proving Grounds and then get a ton of silver tickets and then play a ton of silver and get a ton of golds, and I don't touch gold until closer to the end of the season. And I think gold is more interesting to stream. So that's what I'm doing here. So not like I've failed a ton of times. I think I've tried 2 gold tickets. And that's good to get that one there. That feels good. It feels good. And completed submissions, just 1 mission. Oh, I just haven't been dropping any 5s. That's yeah, I mean, I exclusively play Conquest after getting Infinite for the most part. So I end up with quite a number of medals. I really like having just a ton of boosters on a ton of cards, and then I can just upgrade them whenever I want to do so. So we'll end up with a ton for sure. For clarity, I think that let's just go to my collection here and sort by upgradable. And just, I mean, obviously I played a ton of these cards, but just let's take a look. Let's take a look. How much does Nate play Marvel Snap? Or has Nate played Marvel Snap? How is his Conquest medal thing? America Chavez, 5,900 boosters. Cosmo, 2,563. Collector, 2,200. Shuri, 1,800. Colleen Wing. Like, I have not played a ton of Colleen Wing. But because of just spending all of the medals in Conquest, I've gotten a ton of boosters here. Is using Captain America 2099. That makes a ton of sense, because not only for the Captain America thing, but it's got a weird curve, I think, with the Doom 2099 deck, and you want... I just thinking out loud, I'm not a very good theory crafter, as it were. And actually, let's pause on a particularly attractive split, shall we? Let's do my sick Thanos split there. I'm not a good deck builder. I'm not a good theory crafter. But it seems to me that the most successful 2099 list, whatever it looks like, I think it's to be discovered. It's got to have alternate win conditions. The list as it exists now that I've faced and kind of seen on Twitch, if you get Doom 2099 on turn 3 or 4, you're off to the races. You got tools to enhance that and get pretty tall. And if you don't, get lost. You have nothing. You're just a trash deck, and maybe that's how it's supposed to work. And you just retreat when you don't have it and go all in when you do. But I think that there's probably some permutation of cards that really makes it cook and sing or viable in Conquest, at least, when you don't get Doom 2099 as soon as you can, that just has some kind of workable backup. I don't know what that is, because again, I'm not very good at this. But I think that exists. All right. Where are we at here? Folks, it was lovely streaming for you here today. We got ourselves an Infinity ticket. And I'm going to call it there for right now. I am going to be doing some Marvel Rivals a little bit later. I don't know if it's going to be on stream, but if you find yourself playing Marvel Rivals and are looking for a buddy to hook up with, I really like playing Rivals and those types of games with people. I hate solo queuing. I don't know how people do it, but pretty fun game. I recommend it. Ongoing War Machine Spectrum list, that sounds like it's fun. And you know what? Doom 2099 might slot well into that too. So what I'm going to do here, and I confess that they changed the UI, so I'm not very good at it. We're going to find somebody to raid, and we're going to hopefully find somebody that doesn't have a huge audience. Same category. Yeah, let's do Sam Pro. We'll raid. Can I? Oh, I actually don't know if I can raid him. Does not seem to have that functionality enabled. Just kidding. I don't know how any of this works. Stream manager. Yeah, this is riveting content. Thank you guys for enjoying. All right, so not him then. Where's the raid button? I am so bad at streaming, you guys. Like, so for clarity, if you guys don't stream, there's a in the stream manager, there's a button that says raid channel, and when you click on it, it brings up an interface that displays a bunch of channels, and you can add filters if you want to. You don't even have to raid the same game. You can raid somebody else entirely. But I want it to be, obviously, send you guys to a Marvel Snap streamer. You keep your same drops going. And then you click on their channel through this interface. And usually there's a raid button. And you can turn off the ability to get raided. But sometimes that button is there for me, and sometimes it isn't there for me. And for both the channels that I just tried to send you to, the raid button wasn't there. And I'm wondering if I'm looking in the wrong place, because now this is the third... oh, you know what? It was just below the screen. Ha! I had my screen too low. All right, 1 second. 1 second, everybody. We're going to raid you properly now. Raid channel. And who is I going to... I'm going to send you to I Am Sam Pro, who only has 3 viewers. Start raid. Sending you over. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys, particularly those that have just found me through the Bing streaming. We're going to do some more Conquest later. We're going to do some more Marvel Rivals later. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Vash, Helkin, Alloy, Gripsmoke. You're all the best. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope to see you again soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day.